Hi everyone, this is Safrina Kadri from Feng Shui and Prosper.com, and today is another video, a quick video that I want to do with regards to Feng Shui items or Feng Shui objects. Now, those of you who have followed my past few videos, you know that I refer very often to this term called fast food Feng Shui. What I mean by fast food Feng Shui is, it's almost like when you go into a fast food joint, you order your combo, all the while thinking you're ordering something and putting food in your body. But is it really food? With the recent exposés with regards to what goes into our burgers and chicken fingers and things like that. And are we really putting nutrients into our body? So fast food Feng Shui is very much similar to that. It's simpler, easier Feng Shui to practice, and they're made to make you think that you're doing Feng Shui, but it's actually not. Where classical Feng Shui is concerned, it's the best description of Feng Shui, especially how it was done classically, is the examination of the external and the internal environment, and with an added layer of the time dimension. That is how the masters did it before. So especially if you want to apply a more modern version of Feng Shui, it doesn't mean that you need to put a three-legged toad or a sailing ship or the 5-element pagoda or lucky coins or even the happy Buddha, the laughing Buddha. You don't need to put all these items in your space in order to do Feng Shui. Now, to be absolutely transparent with you, these fast food Feng Shui, or what's also known as symbolic Feng Shui, is how I got started as well. And results were hit and miss, and it wasn't until I got myself fully certified in classical Feng Shui that I realized, you know what, if a person wants to Feng Shui their space from top to bottom, it doesn't need to involve any Asian looking objects at all. And definitely that is a concern that some of my clients have, because my clients come from all different backgrounds, all different religion, in fact. And, most of the time they don't want their friends and family to come into the house and know that they've Feng Shuied. Start looking them weird after that. Especially my retail, commercial, as well as corporate clients as well, they can't have these symbolic Feng Shui items lying around their space, because it would be hard to explain to people why they're there in the first place. Because as much as Feng Shui is mainstream nowadays, not everyone is still open to the idea. And you don't, especially as a business person, you don't necessarily want people to know what you're doing to give yourself that competitive advantage as well. It's nice to have some secrets up your sleeves. So I'm just gonna show to you some of the Feng Shui items that are very, very popular. I have a couple of them just lying around. So, fishes. This is the arowana fish. Very, very popular. Of course, in Asian culture, fish is always a symbol of wealth, a symbol of abundance, of having more than you need. Because in Mandarin, fish is called yu. And especially in Chinese New Year, you would hear very often people would wish each other 年年有余. And direct translation, it means every year you have fish. But remember, fish means more than you need. So they're really wishing each other every year, wishing you every year you have more than you need. So that became translated into Feng Shui. It's become a symbol of always having more than you need. But really, classical Feng Shui, you don't need this to tap into the wealth energies. And the same thing for this one too. This is a heavy little guy, solid metal, probably about, even though it's small, it's probably at least 2 pounds in terms of its weight. So this is 2 fishes with a little gate here. I don't know if you can see it. There's this gate. And this is in symbolic Feng Shui, it's usually used for someone who wants to progress in their career or for students who want to pass their exams. Because as myths have it, these fishes, because they swim upriver, right? They face the challenges head on, and they're strong enough, if they're strong enough to leap over this little gate, then the fishes turn into dragons. 成龙. So that's considered a progress, that's considered success. So again, in symbolic Feng Shui, this is used very, very often for career as well as academic progression. And ships, sailing ships especially. So these, you've probably read that if you have your sailing ship sailing a certain direction, then you're bringing in good wealth energies specifically with you. So that's another symbolic Feng Shui that's very, very common, that you see a lot. As well as, let me see what else I have here. There's this little wulu, okay? Again, it's painted in gold, and symbolically, wulu is known as a Feng Shui item to boost health. Because back in China, this is what they use in order to carry medicine. This is actually a gourd. I mean, not this one, but in olden China, they use the gourd as a bottle, really, and then they put the medicine in there, which is why now, in terms of symbolic Feng Shui, if you want to boost your health, this is usually what's recommended to boost it up. And some of you guys are probably aware of this one as well. Maybe not as mainstream as it, or maybe it is. I have been out of the symbolic Feng Shui world for quite a while now, but this definitely was something that was highly recommended when I first started out. So this is, especially if you're familiar with Flying Star Feng Shui, the 5-element pagoda is usually what's recommended to reduce the number 5 yellow energy, which is the strongest negative energy when it comes to Flying Star Feng Shui. And that usually gives you challenges overall, really, in terms of health, wealth, relationships. And also to reduce the number 2 illness star, which is illness and stress. So usually in symbolic Feng Shui, this is what's usually recommended to quell the number 5 and the number 2. Now, you've probably caught on that I call it symbolic Feng Shui very, very often. It's not wrong if you want to place it. I mean, a lot of the times when I go into my client space, they show me a whole bunch of stuff that they've already bought. If you already have it, I usually, just help my clients incorporate that if they want. But if they don't have it, most of the time the Feng Shui items that I recommend are actually things that they can get in regular home decorating stores, or even in Walmart, or a garden store. So you don't necessarily need Feng Shui items. So again, it's really preference. If you like these, Asian looking objects and you don't mind people asking, by all means, go ahead with that. But as part of my recommendations for my clients, I actually don't have them. I don't ask them to spend any money on these items. So a lot of the things just blend in to whatever interior, whatever decor that they already have in place. Now, these are what I mean, other people may have different opinions, and I may be putting myself out there, you know, and making a lot of people upset, but this is what I call fast food feng shui, okay? You don't just place a fish and think that, you know, you're gonna progress in your career. You don't just place a ship thinking that the wealth energy is gonna sail into your space. Of course, it's easier for the mind to wrap around and to digest, but classically, in terms of how the feng shui masters used to do it, you know, decades and decades and hundreds of years and even thousands of years ago, this is not how it was done. Now, I'm gonna confuse you a little bit because I just spent all this time telling you that all these items here and the fish and this fish, these are just a handful of examples that I have lying around here. I just spent the last few minutes telling you that these are fast food feng shui, which is not classical feng shui. Now I'm going to turn around and say, you can actually use this for feng shui. Have I stumped you? Probably. Why am I backtracking right now? Okay. The reason why I'm saying you can use this for feng shui is not because of the shape or what the animals are. It's more in terms of the material. So where these items are concerned, this is actually like, I think it's brass and it's solid. It's really heavy. And all these other items, well, they're not solid metal. They are painted in metal colors. Like, well, obviously for these guys, they're painted in gold. The reason why I'm now saying that you can actually use these for feng shui is because of their metal element. Especially if you want to remedy the number 5 and the number 2, what you need is to place more metal. Now, what that really means is it can be a metal statue. It can be a cat statue for all you want. It could be a metal bookcase, or, you know, if your bedroom just happens to have the number 5 or the number 2 sitting in your bedroom, it could even be a metal bed. And that's your feng shui remedy. That's your feng shui item placement. You don't need the wulu, you don't need the ship, you don't need the galloping horse to be successful, you don't need certain kinds of you know, paintings. It's not the symbol of it that makes it good feng shui. It's actually the color, the element, and maybe the shape of it that that can help you boost certain energies in certain spaces. So, especially if you're, you know, you're new to feng shui and you don't want too sure about bringing in all these symbolic feng shui into your space, or, you know, you've been going through Chinatown or whatever and trying to get objects to properly feng shui your place, and you can't find the things that are, you know, recommended for you, fear not. You really need to just figure out what kind of elements you need to place, and then just do it that way. If you need more wood in a certain area, go for, let's say, a wood furniture, or go for something that's green, right? Maybe green curtains or things like that. If you need more fire, then in terms of, you know, color placements, you know, you use more reds and yellows and oranges if you need to boost up the fire element somewhere, and things like that. So if you don't have a feng shui store near you, or if you don't want to have to order feng shui items online, let's say, it doesn't matter what what it is that's holding you back. I am here to let you know that all is not lost. It doesn't mean that you can't do Feng Shui. And in fact, I would say as long as you have the correct element in the correct space, doing Feng Shui actually is easy peasy. And again, it'll blend into your decor. You don't have to worry about people asking you like, what is this dragon doing here? Right? So, so I hope I'm gonna keep my video today fairly short. So I hope that this video has been of value to you. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe so that you get notifications of my, of my future videos. I will be coming up with the 2015 New Year updates very, very soon. So definitely keep your eye out on that. And if you're curious about how I do my Feng Shui, feel free to join me on my website at www.fengshuiandprosper.com. Or join me on Facebook, join me on Twitter. Just look up the whatever buttons that I will have hovering over the screen, and hopefully we'll keep reconnecting with each other. And that's it for me today. Have a good one, everyone.